Shadow the new Praetorian. The ogre has asked me to thank Golly Music for the use of the song Conspiracy. Now, folks, join us as we take a look at the CIA and what they've been doing all this time. Big Brother, Child's Play. Welcome to Watch Nation. Now sit back and relax, and please, don't take this man too seriously, but try to pay attention. Here comes the Laughing Ogre!
This is home for my mother.
I am Jack's sense of love for my country and fierce desire to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America! Oh, thanks so much for joining me again today, YouTube. Thank you so much, Real Me. I do love this song so much, but I'm going to say again, as I think the Real Me probably said, didn't he? That this is Golly Music that is about ready to be played. It's a song called Conspiracy. Go and check him out. I'm going to delve into this pretty heavy topic, so if you get a chance to go see what he's all about, maybe that'll lighten your mood up. And I'll tell you what, he's really cool for letting me use this song and all the other ones, as I will. And I don't even know what to say about that in this day and age of copyright infringement and people monetizing my hard work and my whatever this is, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to sit here and talk about talent or whatnot. But this person that you can hear in the background definitely has some talent and is gifted as a musician. And yeah, you know, I've written songs. I can't call myself a songwriter because I've not sold any of them. But he knows how to write what we would call a hook. So we talked earlier today, just briefly, about my feelings about this Vault 7, this incredible dump of information from WikiLeaks, one of the greatest sources of whistleblowers ever. They have so much information. We can see that it appears to me that they, in fact, I heard someone say this, and I won't mention who, because I almost said it and I kind of disagree with it. That Assange is trying to help Trump topple the deep state. Assange wants to topple the deep state. Does he care that Trump is there? It wouldn't, if Hillary would have been the one that would have done it, he would have went the other way. I don't know. I really am not even sure that he has fully a method. It's very possible that he just says, if you're a whistleblower, bring it to me and I'll put it out. But the way they're released, he's got to have some kind of method, doesn't he? And boy, he's just a genius hacker. It would be hard for me to believe that he didn't know what he was doing. So we're going to be covering a couple news sources today. And the first one, I don't know. Let's let him talk for a second, see what they have to say. CNN.
Some of the CIA's most sophisticated and effective spying tools apparently pried open with the help of WikiLeaks. The anti-secrecy group says it's obtained thousands of files, hundreds of millions of lines of code from the CIA's massive hacking operation. WikiLeaks says the documents show the CIA's team of hackers have developed malware to be able to hack into almost any device people use and can remotely control iPhones, iPads, Android devices, taking video from their cameras, listening with their microphones.
We should be worried if they're being used against non-intelligence targets.
The CIA is not allowed to
We
spy
should be
on
worried if they're being used. Because I'm going to read a little bit of this, I'm just going to stop it right there. If we should be using against... We should be worried if they're being used with... We'll talk about it at the end. There are parameters for this kind of thing. If you want to surveil someone, if you want to wiretap them, if you want to look into them. And I would like to point out at this time that in the CIA's charter, it says that they will not operate on American soil. That's what the FBI is for, folks, and I don't hold it against you if you didn't know that. The CIA is our spying agency. It is our Mossad. It's just not as good as Mossad. And they're not supposed to be spying on American people. We operate over yonder, hither and yon, and bring the information back to the United States so that we are prepared for our enemy, because as Sun Tzu would say, know yourself and know your enemy, and in 100 battles you will be victorious. The CIA allegedly created tools to spy on people through smart TVs and other household technologies, according to documents released by WikiLeaks. But security researchers say the methods imitate exploits that were discovered and made public years ago. Yes, that's what I said in the teaser video. This is something that's been known for a long time. For one, Alex Jones has covered it. And yes, I appreciate everyone that makes comments. You tell me what you think down here in the comments, and everyone's going to be respected. But remember what I always say. Even a stop clock is correct 2 seconds out of the day. So whereas Alex Jones is a little crazy, I would submit right now, constant viewer, that I am a little off my nut. Anyone that is motivated enough to do the things that I do and other people do and still, like you take the Hard Bastard or the Britisher, these are people with real lives based. Mama has 6, I think, I don't know, she got 6 kids to my certain knowledge. And how does she do this? Day takes care of herself and her old man and her household, and she deals with lupus, and she still finds a way. We're all mad here. I'll sum it up and get right back on this. The leaked documents that WikiLeaks claims are from the CIA, dubbed Vault 7, contain notes about how the agency allegedly targeted individuals through malware and physical hacking on devices including iPhones, computers, TVs. Federal officials are investigating the leak. I'm going to keep going. This is so scary, the Weeping Angel thing, because this is a story of these. It's like if you've read the book The Shining, which I have a few times, you'll know that there was no hedge maze in the book. There were topiary animals. In fact, the remake that was on TV with Rebecca De Mornay and can't remember the actor's name, the guy from Wings, it also had the topiary, in other words, hedge cut out animals. The animals were made from the bushes that when you weren't looking at them, they'd start to creep up on you. But if you looked at them, they'd stop. That's what this Weeping Angel thing is. And they're telling you their method is that when you turn the TV off, it looks like it's off by that button. But the fact of the matter is, it's still busily watching you and listening to your every word. And I've heard things you can cut off an earphone and the microphone part of it, or just plug in a jack into it, basically, that's cut off. And doing that, but I don't know. I'm actually going to look into it because I need to get some newer flat panels, and I'll take it apart. I'm kind of a geek that way, and I'll figure out where all the mics are, and I'll put on and off switches on them and try to find if I can, find the circuitry that is running all of the mics. If there is anyway, I'll do my own. I encourage you to do the same thing. The Weeping Angel. When you're not looking at them, they are coming upon you. I know I took the long way around there, but this stuff, it's a flood of information, and it's overwhelming to me. This is what I'm feeling right now. I have been telling people to put their phones in a Faraday bag for a long time. I've been telling people to unplug their televisions. Some of my good friends around here that you've even seen on some videos here, but I'm not going to name him out loud on this. He watches the TV all the time with this new digital thing. People think you got to be plugged into a cable. You could be being watched, and apparently you are. So this is NPR. WikiLeaks releases what it calls CIA trove of cyber espionage. I want you to see the thread here. What they say is, what they claim is, that WikiLeaks, to my certain knowledge, has never released anything that wasn't authentic. This is authentic. It's a leak. That'll be the next thing they say. They'll quit saying this and they'll be like, well, because it was obtained this way, we can't. Everybody remember Donna Brazil? I'm Christian, so I know what persecutions is. Give me a break. It doesn't. Okay, so there was some things in the comments that I should address. The idea that, and you could see it in the comments, I'm not going to call this person out by name because I don't necessarily disagree with them, but they said that Snowden should do some time in jail because I yelled out what I feel, free Snowden. In a perfect world, Snowden would have to do a year to me. But in that perfect world, the court system that he ran from would be just, and so running from the court system would be contempt of court. And as far as I feel, that's the only thing the man has done wrong. And yes, his passport was revoked by the United States of America while he was in a Russian airport. So people, that say he ran to Russia, I don't know if that's the case. Okay, that's all I'm going to say, and I need to move on now. Hey, this is going to be a little bit longer, and this is part 1, part 2. This is deep stuff, because next I'm getting the WikiLeaks documents, and we're going to go through those. So I'm just going to move on from NPR. So you see the thread, what they claim to be. So here we go right on to, oh, what happened there? I didn't want to do that. So we were going to look, here we go. We're going to look at CBS News. WikiLeaks posts trove of CIA documents detailing mass hacking. Now, right off the bat, the headline is the most non-misleading so far. And this is CBS News. That's amazing to me. And it says, Washington, WikiLeaks published thousands of secret CIA files on Tuesday detailing hacking tools the government employs to break into users' computers, mobile phones, and smart TVs. Some companies that manufacture smart TVs, including Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Samsung. That's... I can, I've seen it for a long time, Alex Jones especially. I've got to give him the credit, folks. Don't kill me on it, because I watch him for probably what some people watch me for. Entertainment factor. I see this stuff, I get a little bit riled up, and I will. I'm going to work on my report based on probably this. That will be 5 minutes, and you'll be able to see Anchorman Ogre, okay? But whenever it's this is an extemporaneous flow of conscious thought. This is commentary. This is my life experience applied to what I see. And what I see, folks, is more than a slippery slope. George Orwell could not have dreamed this when he wrote about Winston and his apartment with a little nook in there that was just cut out just right. Maybe it was a bookshelf, and getting out his paper to write and drinking his oily, nasty-tasting Victory Gin and starting to write. It's 1984, I think. Because nobody knows. Is that what we're slipping into? A police state where they could change the date? They're already changing gender. I don't want to go down that road right now. Give me letters if you want on anything I say. We can have a discussion. That goes for any fanboys from the Polecat too. And I offered some of y'all to come on the show. Guaranteed that offer stands. Anybody that cares to debate the ogre, you're welcome to come and debate me, especially on these topics that I want to defend. So WikiLeaks published thousands of secret. We did that. Okay, and I'm going to move on from CBS. So far, even that little bit right there, I would say that they are, they're pretty good. I got to read this right here. This is CIA's Edward. The documents describe clandestine methods for bypassing or defeating encryption, antivirus tools, and other protective security features intended to keep the private information of citizens and corporations safe from the prying eyes of the U.S. government employees, including President Trump uses many of the same products and internet services purportedly compromised by the tools. This is insanity, folks. I can't really believe that are we really here? If you have your location services turned on your phone, you're crazy. I can't believe, really, I'm crazy because my phone's just on and sitting here in front of me. But what's the difference? I'll turn it away from you so you can't really see it. And turn it off. I will show you it shutting down. But what's the sense in even doing that? What they're saying is with that weeping angel is that even when I think that it's off, it's not off. It's still listening to me. There's no way that I want that happening, not only to myself, but to anyone else out there. So I just hit power off, and you can see that my phone is going to power off right now. And that's probably the best thing to do. Don't you get sick of this thing being attached to you anyway? Orwell, listen, slavery was horrible. And now what they do is they have us slaves. Don't take this wrong, any of my black viewers, please. Slavery is horrible. I'm Jewish. My people were slaves for on and off forever. I don't have any love for slavery. But what I can say is slavery, this is from a quote from Zeitgeist. I don't take credit for this thought. But slavery requires the slave owner to feed and house the slave. This new world order insanity of fractional reserve banking and central banks and all of these things, and now the police security state, are you kidding me? This system requires the slaves, us, constant viewer, to feed and house ourselves. We don't even... 40 acres and a mule, we get nothing. Just like the slaves of old. In this country, we're lied to. We get nothing. No 40 mules. No acre. I'm not going to belabor that anymore. I got a couple more, and then we're going to break down something very important to every American out there. It's the most important document ever written, if you ask me. Maybe second only to the Magna Carta. But really, in all honesty, I believe this is a little bit better. With all respect to my British brothers and sisters out there. I know there's a lot of you out there. You're a large part of my viewership, and I appreciate you here. CIA aware. This is, again, this is ABC News. CIA aware in 2016 a Vault 7 leak that led to WikiLeaks release. The CIA has been aware of the security breach that led to the WikiLeaks document release since the end of 2016, U.S. intelligence and law enforcement officials say. Do you think they care? They're not even supposed to be operating on the... I already said it. The officials who wish to remain anonymous said that they believe the documents about CIA techniques used between 2013 and 2016 were authentic. Thank you. I'm going to move on from that right away. So as you can see, as we move along, we're getting closer and closer to the truth. I actually think this last one was a bit of a disappointment for me. I've been doing a lot of reading in a short time, so I'm trying to keep these things straight in my head. And as we go into part 2, we'll recap on this, a short little spot there. But we're going to jump right into the WikiLeaks documents themselves. I believe I can get a hold of them. You know what? I haven't even tried yet, so hopefully I'm not sticking my foot in my mouth. But I hope that it's just like the Podesta emails, all of that stuff, like when they did the dumps on during the election. Because it's just like the bastard said. You take it, you see, it's like, oh, we got the bad guy here, and it's, Ivan Romanov. And then it's like, the whole crew, Scooby-Doo crew, and they take the mask off, and it's not Ivan at all. It's the CIA. It's Frank Hill. Come on, man. What's going on here? WikiLeaks releases entire hacking. Again, this is Fox News. WikiLeaks releases entire hacking capacity of the CIA. Aren't you glad they did that for us? WikiLeaks on Tuesday released what it said. Again, Fox is using this crafty language. What it said, no, they are releasing what actually is Constant Viewer. Their methods. Full hacking capacity of the CIA in a stunning 8,000 plus page disclosure the anti-security website contends is the largest ever publication of confidential documents on the agency. Thank you so much, Julian Assange. Please come together, write your congressman, write your senators, write letters until your computer keys fall off to everyone that you can think of, right on up to Trump, and say, let Julian Assange have asylum here. If you're listening from Australia, let him go home, please. Let the man go home, or wherever it is that he wants. He should be praised as a hero, not treated as a villain in this way. This is so terrible. So the 8,761 documents and files released as Vault 7 Part 1, entitled Year Zero, were obtained from an isolated, high-security network at the CIA's Center for Cyber Intelligence in Langley, Virginia. A press release from the website said the trove had been circulated among former U.S. government hackers and contractors, one of whom recently gave the archives to WikiLeaks. The CIA allegedly employs more than 5,000 people in its cyber spying operation and had produced more than 1,000 programs as of 2016. They cannot do this. It's against their own charter. Change your charter or quit spying on us. If anybody should be doing this, it would be the FBI, but come on, folks, you know what I'm going to say. No one should be doing this, and we're going to very, very quickly move on to why I'm saying that. So it says, we do not comment on the authenticity or context of purported intelligence documents, a CIA spokesperson told Fox News. If I was Fox, I don't even know. I guess they got to report that because that's just the news. That's what he said. But it's bunk. They know very well this is they just don't care. And they're going to spin. They're spies, people. They're spies. The collection of purported intelligence documents include information on CIA-developed malware, bearing names such as Assassin and Medusa, intended to target iPhones, Android phones, smart TVs, and Microsoft, Mac, and Linux operating systems. Sorry about that, Pizzy. They're even going after your Linux, man. Can you believe it? Good to see you out there, Pizzy. Can't wait to have you on the show again. Linux operating systems, among others. An entire unit in the CIA is devoted to inventing programs to hack data from Apple products, according to WikiLeaks. You know, I think the reason why they wanted to know how to get past the encryption the FBI did with the whole thing out there in San Diego, you know, where the two people went to the Christmas party and mowed all them folks down. They wanted that because they're mad because the CIA's got it and they don't have it. They want a toy too. You give somebody power, they're not going to give it back, folks. I'm going to cut off this reading of the news right now. All these links will be in the description. I strongly encourage everyone to follow those links after you listen to my video here and look into it yourself. Look at the whole thing. Take your time, read it, see how they're trying to spin this. They keep saying alleged. WikiLeaks is known for integrity. That's why they don't like him. That's why he's been all this stuff, in my humble opinion. Did he bang a couple of hot Scandinavian chicks? I have no doubt. Probably the ones that said that. I believe they were hookers. If you pay, I'm not taking away from hookers. They're people too. They shouldn't be stabbed and murdered, but you have to question their motivation and question if they would do something for money that was of questionable morals. That's all I'm going to say right there. You fill in the blanks. So let's look at this. This, my brothers and sisters, my British friends, my Canadian friends, my Irish friends, because I see that I have people from all over the world, my friends from Thailand, and especially my fellow citizens of this wonderful country, the United States of America. This is our Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. This is what our founding fathers said was, I don't know if it was level importance, I think it was, but they said this was the fourth most important thing if you wanted to call yourself free. Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment originally enforced the notion that each man's home is his castle. This is not the amendment itself, this is just a little thing about it. Is his castle, secure from unreasonable searches and seizures of property by the government. It protects against arbitrary arrests and is the basis of the law regarding search warrants, stop and frisk, safety inspections, wiretaps, and other forms of surveillance, as well as being central to many other criminal law topics and to privacy law. That's what this is about. Amendment 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. President Trump, CIA, FBI, and any human being, they are speaking to you there from the grave, sir. To you, madam, from the grave they speak. And their words, as they did then, hold iron today. Shall not be violated. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So I hate to tell you, but if that officer that's sitting in your driveway, if you're in this state writing out a warrant, which is not, that don't sound like this, if he don't write exactly what he thinks he's going to find, should be thrown out. This is gone, folks. This is the end of my video. Please, if you love freedom, check out Golly Music and see that he's got a wonderful selection of songs here. Encourage him to make some new ones. He loves freedom. These things are free. I love people that love freedom. When you're done over there at Golly Music, of course, go check out TheBritisher and catch up on some of his old stuff. But TheBritisher has asked me to tell you that they're fixing the moat around his castle. Seems there was a bit of a problem with his drawbridge, and that the water was getting a bit murky from the chamber pots and whatnot that they toss out into it. And he was mentioning something about some dead cows and whatnot to encourage pestilence, to keep anyone that may try to storm his magnificent castle away. So the workers are there today, working in the moat and about the castle grounds and fixing the drawbridge. And he wants you to know he's going to have a video out very shortly Also, I don't have the times right in front of me, and I'm so sorry, Falcon Millennial. But Falcon Millennial has a moving out special. Go to Based Mama's channel. That's the best way to find out about it. Go to Based Mama's channel. You'll see it in the comments. Or just ask there, when is the move out special? In the next video, I'll have a proper shout out at the beginning with the times. Anyway, gentlemen, plain sight. Great to see y'all. All everybody that's in my comments section, I'm going to read this one more time for y'all, and then I'm going to close this show out. This is the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched, and the persons or things to be seized. Join with me, fellow Americans. Write those letters. It's a thing of the past, but make a letter on paper, put it in an envelope. Ask for Julian Assange to be released from the prison that he's been forced into. Ask for Snowden to be brought back and to be given a fair trial, which I can't imagine. I have to agree with one person in my comments. I hate to call these names out. You'll see them in the comments. But maybe he should get a year. I don't know. Maybe in my mind, in all honesty, he should get nothing because the system is corrupt and they forced him into this. So that said, be good to your friends. Be good to your family members. Be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing that your friend, your family member, or your loved one has done seems to be so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because, constant viewer, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, your life, and your freedom granted to you under the Fourth Amendment and the Constitution of the United States may depart from you. Hey, Sydney Rumptime, man, let me know what you think about that, brother. Did you learn anything about our system over here? I got my eye on you, man. Hey, listen, it is getting close to summer, man. I don't even want to crack a lot of jokes, but it's going to be warm out pretty soon, man. I hope there ain't no new creosote on the hole. That's all. Well, I should have quit you, baby. Should have quit you a long, long time ago. I should have quit you, mama. Oh, such a long, long time ago. I never want to find myself here in this predicament, down on this killing floor. Ah, so cruel. I should listen, mama. Should listen to my second mind. I should have took me, my little darling, and hit you